when I moved to New York to live with him, marry him, I would have a day job, a night job, actually working in restaurants and bars and, being a bartender, anything I could do so I could write all day. And I would walk around Manhattan. We had a teeny little apartment that you couldn't even, I worked in the closet for a long time. And then I started taking my tablet, my pen around the city. And one day I started a story about my own childhood when I was 12 and shared that with a friend who was a writer, my only friend I knew who had ever published a book. And she gave it to her
Mhm.
agent, they gave it to a publisher. The next thing I knew, they asked if I could rewrite the book and make it longer and deeper. And I really had never thought of myself as a serious writer until I was getting this attention. I worked as hard as I could. I rewrote the whole book, and it was published. And then I kept writing, and that was a YA. And I wrote 4 YAs. And that was in the time when the big corporations were not demanding huge royalty earnings from authors to keep publishing them. So I was very lucky in that they kept publishing me, even though I got, nice reviews, but they nurtured my career. And I wrote all kinds of things. I mean, that's the joy of children's books. I wrote picture books and retellings of mythology and myths and fairy tales, Norse mythology, American tall tales. I wrote mysteries. I just loved the form. I love that you could find a form, and then you would have your own content, and you could select how to present that to the world of children. But I wasn't in education at all. I didn't have children. I had never studied teaching or how to deal with children. It was really stuff that I was most interested in that I was writing. But then Random
Mhm.
House contacted me and said, "How would you like to do a series?" And we're selecting 3 authors to start a series, and one is Barbara Park to do Junie B. Jones, and Louis
Mhm.
Sackner, he Marvin Redpost, and then you, Mary. But you can decide what you'd like to write about. So
Hmm.
because I had such wide interests and I love travel and I love different cultures and loved mythology, I decided I wanted to do time travel. So
Hmm.
I said, how will I get some kids back in time? Well, you would be astonished at all the odd things I thought of. I first did a magic cellar and I tried magic whistles. Then I tried writing about a magic artist studio and then a magic museum. None of these were good books. I have to say, I just kept trying and trying. And meanwhile, I'm kind of thinking I should get back to my other work because I was really enjoying that. And I was planning to write for adults and the theater. I had all We had a little cabin in Pennsylvania, and my husband and I took a walk, and we saw a treehouse, and it was all falling down, and the child who'd had it had long ago left it, I'm sure. But we said, and Will, I said, is very creative, my husband Will, and we said, what if you have a magic treehouse? Well, that was really interesting to me because it could fly everywhere and not be noticed if it was high in the trees. But how was I going to get it to move? How was it going to be magic? Then I came up with the idea of filling it with books. And so you would open a book in the magic treehouse and make a wish, and whoosh, you were there. And then your adventure would really start. Some assignment that was sent to you, then you didn't know the source of the person sending it. That's what I came up with.